Going live. Live. Okay. Magla-live na yata ako. Naka-live na yata ako. Sige. 20分にアラームをしてください。Okay. セットしました。Okay. Now, we're going to start. はい。Ayaw mamatay na aking, earphone. Sorry, guys. Ayaw mamatay na earphone ko. Yeah. Okay, live na po yata ako. Hindi nag-live po.
Live na yan.
Okay, live na nga po. Okay, live na po. Sorry po talaga, ganito talaga live. Nawawala ko simula. I'm still fixing myself. So, yeah. It's quite hard to use the Google Chrome for my PC Talker. So, I'm still adjusting how to fix it. So, that's the reason why lately I find it very hard to go to live. Okay, so we only have 20 minutes to do this last presentation about my part 2, the continuation of what are the different categories of persons with disability here in Japan. And these categories are divided to the PWD ID. So, ito pa yung discuss natin. So, just make a little bit of recap of our last lesson para po those who are new in here this video, they can understand or slightly catch up what we have discussed in the part 2. Okay, po simula ng part 2. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel. By the way, I'm Avery Babos. Just call me Babos. That's my name, even in my own country, Philippines. Yeah. So, please allow Kaito-san and Masako-san to read all over to make it faster. Okay?
In Japan, disability pension and services.
That's it. Disability pensions and services in Japan.
In Japan,
日本への障害者手当とサービス
Okay, I made them slow to talk so that you can easily understand. The Japanese is the interpretation of English.
1. Different cases and conditions differs. The benefits and services.
種々のケースと条件によって利点とサービスは異なります。障害の手続きやサポートの提供、または提供の方法は国によって異なります。
Disability procedures, supports. Services and benefits are provided. Varies by country. Or depending on what system you have in your country.
空業
Oh, yeah, and see? I'm looking at the monitor. It seems like I see the monitor. Okay. Because, even though we're blind, we are looking on who was talking to us. So now the ones talking is Masako-san and Kaito-san. So I'm looking to them. Okay. Anyway, so this videos is about the system here in Japan. So in your country, please, I'd like just like what I have discussed in the last video, please check it also in your own country if you have the same benefits or not. So commonly, those who have ratified the United Nations Conventions for Persons with Disability have the United regulations, agreements for persons with disability. So I hope all those countries who ratified these conventions are now implementing these agreements to those countries.
領土概要
Disability category.
Disability category. So this is what we have discussed last time. I will just listen to Masako-san and Kaito-san.
障害手帳のカテゴリー1身体障害
Physical disability.
2精神保健福祉手帳
Mental health welfare handbook. Mental disability certificate.
3療育手帳
Children with disability. Developmental disability, etc.
Okay.
Nursing, children care handbook.
1.1 身体障害
Okay, wait, before that. Okay, so we have Okay, to summarize, we have three kinds of categories. So these three categories is the classifications of our persons with disability ID or Shogai Shatecho here in Japan. So it's classified as Shintai Shogai Shatecho, and the other one is for Seishin Fukushi Hoken. I forgot the name in Japanese. Wait.
Nursing, etc. Develop disability children,
3
mental disability, mental
精神保健福祉手帳
Seishin Hoken Fukushi Tacho. So,
mental health welfare handbook.
mental health welfare handbook. So commonly this is the elder version, and for the children version we call that I no techo or Yuoiku techo. So we're going to discuss that today. So let's make a short briefings of what we have discussed. Only the titles and the different kinds of disability.
両党
M.
Last video.
Mental disability,
3
children with disability, developmental disability, etc. Nursing,
1.1 身体障害
Okay, the first category Shintai Shogai siya.
physical disability,
In English is physical disability. This is what I make it to more easier to understand.
視覚障害
visually impaired,
This is where I belong, visual impaired.
VIP,
We are being called VIP, very important person. Sorry, we are visually impaired person.
聴覚や平衡機能の障害
hearing or balance impairment,
Okay, the hearing impaired, we also calling them HI or high.
両
HI,
音声機能言語機能咀嚼機能の障害
voice, language, masticatory or chewing impairment,
肢体不自由心臓や腎臓呼吸器の機能の障害
pacemakers, heart physical impairment, kidney, and respiratory system,
Yeah, this one is the one that I've discussed before, Kuya Emmer. So this is this kind of disability.
disorder, not functioning,
Yeah, and by the way, the one that I'm just telling before, the Kuya Emmer Rojas, he's the one that the president now of Aka Pinoy and the voices for persons with disability. So he had this kind of severe disability, but he's one of the great leaders.
両膀胱や直腸の機能の障害膀胱や直腸の機能の障害
bladder and rectal function disability, rectal infusion,
Rectal infusion.
large intestine disorders,
小腸の機能の障害
impaired function of the small intestine,
ヒト免疫不全ウイルスによる免疫機能の障害
impaired immune function due to human immunodeficiency virus, HIV,
肝臓の機能の障害
impaired liver function, liver disabilities,
空業1級から7級の障害等級に区分されており
level 1, level 7,
1級に近づくほど障害の程度が重く
level 1, severe,
7級に近づくほど障害の程度が軽くなっていきます
level 7, lightest,
7級の障害は単独では身体障害者手帳の対象外ですが
level 7, not cover for PWDID,
7級の障害が2つ以上ある場合などに交付対象となります
level 7 plus other disability, light multi-disability,
空業
Okay. It says that these physical disabilities have different kinds of physical disabilities. Nakita nyo, it's not only about eyes, ears, mouth, head, shoulder, knees, and toes. It's not only that. Also in the heart, the facial, the blood, the liver, the bladder. O yan, lahat na ng sakit sa katawan. So, that's inside here, okay? And then, the other one is, this part, we've discussed how they are being leveled. So we have level 1 to 7, and then level 1 is the most severe. And I am totally blind, so I'm level 1. And this is based on the numbers given by the doctor. And even though I can see handsome people, still I am level 1 because the number given by the doctor is under the level 1. And if you are in the level 7, that's very light. So let's say you only have some yung liko-likong daliri, let's say that. Si Tito Paul, ganun eh, liko-liko daliri, or let's say if you have the cataract and your cataract is very just beginning, and still if you have the eyeglass you can see, that's maybe possible for level 5, 6, or 7. So commonly these these have disability ID, but they don't receive the lots of benefits because these can still live independently because as what I've discussed on the first part of the video, people here become disabled because of the restrictions. So they are not capable to live in the normal life and they have some hindrance on their way. So they have a lot of barriers. But if we can put away those barriers, they will be able to live independently and they can avoid this restriction, then that means they are slightly disabled, only slightly. So if we have the eyeglass and you can read clearly, so that means you are not really disabled. So it really depends on the doctor. And then there's an option like you're level 7, 5 or 6 or 7, and then let's say my ears also slightly cannot hear well, and then I have some speech defect, language defect, so I cannot pronounce well, like portec, or let's say like that way, and I'm slightly some color vision or color blindness and slightly cannot hear very well. So maybe because of this multiple defects or multiple not functioning well, maybe this will be categorized by level 3 or level 2 or something, right? So it still depends on the medical descriptions of the doctor, okay? And these categories and this level will define your PWD ID and will define the services and benefits that we're going to discuss on the part 3. Okay, and the second category is
領土概要1.2精神保健福祉手帳
精神保健福祉手帳
Mental Health Welfare Handbook.
精神疾
Mental Health Welfare Handbook.
This is the one that's quite hard because you're already adult or you already old enough when you discover this kind of disease disability or disorder or mental disability. So these need a lot of tests,
領土精神疾患
like
Facing, having mental sickness, disorder, impairment.
統合失調症
Schizophrenia. A long-term mental disorder of a type involving a breakdown in the relation between thought, emotion, and behavior, leading to faulty perception, inappropriate actions and feelings, withdrawal from reality and personal relationships, into fantasy and delusion, and a sense of mental fragmentation.
うつ病
yeah, that is one of the I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce well. So that is one of the problems. Let's say some people are saying, just baliwan. In the Philippines, it's called baliwan, just trying to be crazy, just trying to make some fun or just trying to be crazy. But we don't actually know. So if that happens to some of our family friends or family or brothers, sisters, maybe because of too many problems, depressions, anxiety, stresses, this commonly happens. So we must be aware to each other, to our friends, to our families. If our families suddenly don't talk, just always sitting on the floor or sitting on the table or, don't go out, something like that, is actually some kind of maybe kind of stresses, depression. So you need to be careful, be aware of, be conscious, observant of our families, because especially as of now, many people of the world are having some stresses because of the COVID and so many how do you call that, discrimination acts or something. So we need someone to talk to, and those people were not good in expressing what they're thinking. Sometimes they just sit down and then suddenly they're smiling, they're laughing. Actually, I have some person that I know that they started to have some illusions. Let's say next year I'm going to get married. They said, but there's no boyfriend or something, right? So it's a kind of illusions which we should, if we really love or care for our someone, let's try to talk to them on what are their problems, so that if it's not possible, then we should look for a doctor. It's not bad to go to psychologist, psychiatrist. Let us not wait for them to be worse. So we can still help them. And this kind of persons with disability category is quite hard to define. So this needs a lot of tests, like 6 months to 1 year and to sometimes 1.5 years. Okay, some other kinds of this category is
病棟、
depression,
due to depression. This one,
うつ病、
utsubyo. This is very rare. Not rare. Common. Utsubyo,
depression,
depression.
双極性障害、
bipolar disorder, disability,
Bipolar disability. This is the very hard one to trace. We know some friends of us were very emotional and or easy to angry or easy to laugh or something. Maybe we have this kind of problem, but we don't know. So we actually don't go to the doctor, right? So it became severe. That's the only time that we go to the doctor.
病棟、気分障害、
Timon Shogai.
mood disorder,
I think I have this one, mood disorder.
転換、
Tenkan,
epilepsy,
epilepsy,
発達障害、
Atachi Shogai,
developmental disorders, disability,
developmental disorder, disability, Hatachi Shogai. Commonly, this is for children's disability, but lately, because of the technology, they have noticed that even adults, even those who are already working, have developmental disabilities.
病棟、
D,
空業、1級から3級の障害等級があります。
level 1 to level 3,
空業、
So this one have level 1 to level 3. In the first category, this physical disability is level 1 to level 7, right? Let's say if you are a wheelchair user, but still you can stand up, so maybe that's level 2 or 3. Right? If you're crutches and sometimes you can walk by yourself using the baston, so maybe that's level 1 to 3 or 4 or 5. In mental disability for adult, that is level 1 to 3. So you need to pass all those tests. So they have some questions and questionnaires and many times of consultations to the doctor to verify that you really have this kind of sickness. You know what's because some of the people are pretending. On the other side, some people are pretending that they are stressed, they are depressed, and something. Maybe just because of this disability ID, they just want disability ID because they're thinking that they can have the pension. You know, the life is quite hard. So some people are trying to act like that. So suddenly, because of those acting later on, it happened to be they're really under depression or something, right? So this second category is left from level 1 to 3, and these have not like the physical disability. It's like for my case, I'm glaucoma. I have a glaucoma. That's why I got my visual impairment. My disability ID is no need for updates because glaucoma is going to totally blind. So my disability ID don't need updates or don't need to renew. So at first I have the every year renewal. Let's say for my first year, second year, and then the third year that is good for 3 years, and after that equivalent to 5 years, right? Within 5 years, still my eyes became totally blind and no progress, or even if you are in the second year, third year, and your eyes is definitely no progress. It will not be developed, it will not grow, you will not be sighted anymore, no medicine. So in glaucoma, we have no medicine. So my PWD ID will not, we have, how do you call that in Tagalog? In Japanese, it's koshin, update or extended, yeah. Extended encho, right? So sorry, I just cannot think of my mind what is that in English and Tagalog. You don't need to update that every year, every 6 months. But in this case, the second category, because this is some more on psychological or psychiatric matters, this can be maybe if you are now free from stressors or some traumas or postnatal syndromes, maybe if you're already free, then maybe you will be back into normal, right? Let's say if you have got the rehabilitation or the training. So this one, oh, it's already 20 minutes. How fast?
stop, button,
Okay, let's that I missed. 10分後にアラームしてください。 Okay. So, in this case, the extension or the renewals or must renew the ID, visible ID, is every 6 months. So that is the different category. That's why our disability are divided into categories. Okay, so
今日の続きはこちらからです。
okay. 今日の次はこちらからです。
Today's continuation starts from here.
Okay.
Please join us.
Please join us and please keep on watching.
Learn with us. I am Kato San.
Okay, the English one talking is Kaito-san.
みさこさんです。
And the Japanese talking is Misako-san.
よろしくお願いいたします。
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. That's in Japanese. That please looking forward for your keep on watching.
空業 1.3
Okay. This is the third category, and this third category is only for children.
療育手帳
We call this Ryoiko Techo. Ryoiko Techo. But it depends on the provinces.
Nursing Handbook.
Yeah, Ryoiko Techo is nursing handbook.
愛の手帳東京都横浜市など
Okay, so what I said a while ago, Ryoiko Techo is depend on your location. So in Tokyo or
Nurse 愛の手帳東京都横浜市など
Yokohama Shinado is somewhere in Kanagawa Prefecture. Tokyo, we call this I no Techo. So I no Techo. That is the nursing handbook. And then in other places, we call this
愛の手帳青森県な愛の手帳青森護衛の護守る愛情の愛糸愛の手帳青森県名古屋市など
the I go no Techo. I go no Techo is in Aomori Prefecture or
愛
is that?
の手帳青森県名古屋市など
Nagoya Prefecture. It's a little farther from Tokyo. You need to use the bullet train to be able to go there.
緑の手帳所沢市狭山市など
Okay, in Tokorosawa-shi or Sayama-shi, they're calling it Midore no Techo. Maybe because Midore is color green. So maybe because in our Techo or disability ID, we have different colors too. So we don't just receive the disability ID in just one card, all the same. No, it's easier to identify here because we have, in my case, I am level 1 and I am part of visual impaired and physical disability. So my disability ID is color red. So for Aino Techo, some of them are color orange or yellow. In Tokorosawa-shi, and Shiyama?
愛の緑の手帳所沢市狭山市など
Sayama-shi. Sayama-shi is one of very good tourist spot for hams and hot dogs. So in this place, this is Midore no Techo. So color green ID.
障害を持つ子どもが社会的に自立することを目的として行われる医療と保育療育センター
With the objective of becoming independent, receiving enough support from medication and in social aspects like childcare, nursing assistance, developmental training, etc.
幼少期に取得する
Okay, so this Aino Techo is created for children with disability for them to live again independently. So habang bata pa po sila, they are being developed to how they can eat on their own, how they can move on their own, how they can live their own. They will not feel they are isolated. They will not feel that they are disabled. They will not feel that they're different. So the government provided this ID so that they can maintain the medical assistance, the training, the special schools, or the special trainings that they need. So the government of Japan provided them all these kinds of facilities for these children. On our part 3, we will discuss all of it.
18歳幼少期に取得する18歳未満に生じる
Commonly, this ranges from ages below 18.
Okay, because this is for children with disability, Yoiko Techo is only within 18 and below 18 years old. So if you're above 18 years old and you have some kind of developmental disability or mental disability, you're going to be part of the while ago the mental health disability or Yoiko Techo for adult. So we have so many terms here in Japanese.
空業 知的障害、
Okay, Yoiko Techo is considered part of, let's say, this Teki Shogai.
Intellectual disabilities.
So this is the intellectual disability.
ID.
We call this ID,
Mental disability.
mental disability or MD,
MD.
知的発達障害、
Developmental disability.
developmental disability or DD.
DD.
So this Teki Hatachi Shogai, this is developmental disability. Lately, even our companies, we are now very active in promoting developmental disability so that they can work on their own because it's a matter of training and developmental training. So if they will be developed and we can discover what are their skills, then they can still be part of regular companies. So we're trying hard to how we can help these different kinds of mental disability because some people are discover their mental disability when they are already working.
平等、
D. Learning disability.
So we also have the learning disability or LD.
LD.
You know what that learning disabilities doesn't mean that you are a kind of slow learner or not easy to catch up, cannot catch up or something like. Also part of learning disabilities, those fast learner or too advanced. It's let's say the child is supposed to be grade 1, but her IQ is supposed like almost grade 5 or grade 6. That's too intelligent, right? Above IQ. So higher, too much, too intellectual. So this also part of learning disability.
平等、
Oppositional defiant disorder.
Okay, I will just tell the different kinds of children with disability, okay?
L. Oppositional defiant disorder. Odd.
Odd.
Conduct disorder. CD. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
This is the famous
ADHD.
ADHD. Actually, some people misconception ADHD to ADDA.
ADDA.
It's another kind, almost the same, but ADDA is opposite of the hyper. It's very silent type, but also a kind of attention deficiency.
平等、
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. This is so pity for those children who are experiencing some, violences, domestic violence, child abuse. That's why they receive this kind of mental disability,
平等、
PTSD.
PTSD,
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
obsessive compulsive disorder,
OCD.
OCD,
Tourette syndrome.
Tourette syndrome,
Autism.
autism,
Autism spectrum disorder.
autism spectrum disorder,
And risk factors like
and those, some other risk factors like
substance use and self-harm.
too much consumption of medicines, injections, how do you call that? We have too many kinds of injection, but let's say, I don't want to say anything about like duties, right? Those, and then you get pregnant, and then the baby have some kind of disability, something like that. But, that's why we need to always consult our doctor before taking any kinds of medication.
平等、
Mongoloids.
Of course, the mongoloids,
Down syndrome.
Down syndromes,
CP cerebral palsy.
cerebral palsy.
空業、
You know what, my friend in Australia, David, I love him so much, and David have the Down syndrome. Oh my God, he's so amazing because he's very good in memorizing, and he's working as normal as he is. For me, he's one of it's a matter of the family support, understanding from the father, the mothers, and the relatives and the family members. So because we showed love to our children with disability, they're free to do everything. They're able to move freely, independently. So that's why they can, freely and socially accepted. So that's belongingness. So they feel that they belong. So our children with disability don't feel that they are different. So they're working like a normal one.
平等、 概要、
Antisocial behavior.
So this one, antisocial behavior. Actually, it's not only for children, even older adults have this kind of disability.
Antisocial personality disorder.
Those people were scared to deal and talk with other people, right?
Fast learners or
This one that I've said a while ago.
advanced learners.
空業、
I'm surprised with my alarm.
Snooze. Button. Stop. Button.
Okay, I need to stop it. Okay.
Children born with physical disability.
Okay. children born with physical disability,
speech development disability,
like speech development disability.
children with disability, impairment, disorders,
空業
Okay, so yoikote choice commonly when it comes to Seiki Shogai or those with mental disability, but also they receive children with those severe disability or omoi disability, omoi severe disability, children who are born, they cannot hold, they cannot grasp, or they cannot talk. So any physical disability is also part of yoikote cho until the age of 18. So these also have level 1 to if I'm not mistaken, this is level 1 to 7 also. But for those who receive ID, it's at least level 1 to 5. So those other levels they are the under observant, and the doctors are supporting them under some facilities. So we have the very good social welfare programs for our children because children are very important. So we take care of them.
業等
children with special needs,
空業
So for me, whatever kinds of disability are, for me, that is only special, a kind of special need. Children with special needs or adults with special needs. Why is it special needs? We just need to put some accessibility. We need to put some barrier-free accessibility tools, technology, trainings, rehabilitations. So if we have this and receive these kinds of assistance, then we just need special needs, and we just need some special accessibility actions. That's why I'm saying, I'm talking a lot because I'm panicked with my alarm. It's just that I'm already taking 30 minutes. So for me, once again, it's the 3 categories: the physical disability, the mental health handbook, or just for the adults, and for children, it's children with disability. So we have 3 levels and 3 categories with different levels, and in each levels, these all define under what the doctor's prescription and descriptions. So the doctor will give an exact numbers, exact medical certificate, and then the Japan pension for social welfare. They're going to compute it, and we will discuss that for the part 3. How are we going to receive those different kinds of pensions? So different pensions, different categories, different levels, different services and benefits. So this is my very quick. For me, it's already quick, but still lots of time. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you understand. Although most of the time, Misako-san and Kaito-san speak today. Sorry. And one more thing I would like to tell you is why I'm not discussing one by one all the different kinds of disability, because I am not the doctor and I'm so scared to make a confusion. So I only tell what are the things that I know are the common disabilities here in Japan for them to be notified as part of those categories. So for those other categories, kind of disabilities like diabetic or this also part of disability here in Japan. They also need receive assistance. So all of this will be approved under the social welfare application. So we will going to discuss that on the part 3. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm sorry my video may not be that good, but I'm wishing to advocate and make an awareness. And to all our listeners and viewers, even though they don't have disability, thank you so much, and you are now our PWD advocates. Thank you so much for sharing and liking. Good night.
音声開始。マイクロソフトワンドライブストリーミング YouTube ウォルオキョンズのダウンオルコメントアクションズコメントアクション
Oh no.
コメントアクション AB リレーブルセイサムシセイカスゼロセン画像ラストエクスパンド
Oh no, I can't find the
センダフィードバック
end.
ヌードのシェアのエンドストリーム
Okay, I got
プッ
it.
シュボタン確認エンドのプッシュボタン
Thank you
確認
so much. Good night.
ライブストリーミング